SwayamPrabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Dear students, dear friends, today's session is one of my most favorite because we are going to discuss about the crown jewel of the Indian scripture, the Bhagavadgita. We are going to try and see some of the applications that we can do in our daily life, in the management of our business also. The usual disclaimer that I am an independent director in several companies, I am a visiting faculty in several institutes, but whatever I am going to say is my own personal view. It has nothing to do with any company. I can tell a very interesting thing that I was so lucky that in my school I had chosen higher Sanskrit, and therefore we are taught a few chapters of the Bhagavad Gita by our Mishra sir that time in school, and after that it became a book of my daily reading. And in IIM we had an optional subject on Indian ethos under a very learned person, Professor S.K. Chakravarti. So I had opted for that subject as an optional because of my deep interest, and I was perhaps to him what Arjun was to Dronacharya. So because of my deep interest, I have kept learning every day something. It is like an ocean, and we only know just maybe a bottle of that water from that big ocean, and we have limited time. So we will try and discuss some amazing part of that great book. We will also like to see what others have quoted about the Bhagavad Gita. So very broadly, the Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters and it has 700 sloks in that, or verses as we say in English. It emphasizes the importance of devotion, which is bhakti, action, which is karma, knowledge, which is jnana, and blends them as a path to spiritual realization. Now, basically, Lord Krishna, as you know, is the central figure. He is a divine teacher who guides Arjuna through the challenges of life and when Arjuna is facing dilemmas. Normally, when you think of Bhagavad Gita, you think of it as before the Mahabharata war, but many scholars feel that the war is just an allegory. It is just to illustrate a very important point, because war is something which is very popular throughout the ages. So therefore, the war was taken, but it is more to do with our inner self, our inner conflicts, inner dilemmas, and how to resolve them. The best part of the Bhagavad Gita is, unlike maybe the Vedas, they are not esoteric, they are not meant only for a special few. And now, unlike 75 years back, today the translation of Bhagavad Gita is available in every bookstore, in every language. So it is very easy for us to actually get a copy of that. The interpretation may vary from author to author, that is all right, but I think let us try and capture the central theme of the Bhagavad Gita. My purpose of this session is like I am doing a puja in front of you. It is trying to transfer some of the knowledge that I have with a lot of humility, and the objective is to try and put you in the path of spirituality and enlightenment. I would like to believe that this will make you more happy, more successful. All of us are going to face challenges in life. So this hopefully will help us to overcome the challenges in life. I am personally a big proponent of the Bhagavad Gita. I feel that any problem that you face, any person, anywhere, any problem can face, if you read the Bhagavad Gita carefully, try to absorb it, you can solve it. When Swami Vivekananda was asked once that, have you seen God? Do you believe in God? So Swami Vivekananda said, I have read the Vedas and Upanishads. It was like a jungle or a forest. I traveled, I found a nice fruit here, I found a nice flower there. Again, after a long time, again I found a fruit here and a flower there. But when I came to the Bhagavad Gita, I found the best of all the fruits of the Upanishads are all plucked together in a very nice way. And Swami Vivekananda says that the person who could have done such a wonderful, amazing work, it cannot be a human brain. It has to be a supernatural person who could have written the Bhagavad Gita. Now, because we are to a great extent influenced by the West, so I thought I will talk of Robert Oppenheimer, who was the father of the atom bomb, which changed the course of history after World War II. So let us see what Oppenheimer, who was not a Hindu, but who developed a lot of love for the Bhagavad Gita, who learned Sanskrit, and what he thinks about the Bhagavad Gita. So he is called as the father of the atom bomb, and after a lot of effort, when finally the bomb was successful, it's called the Trinity test, and as you saw from far that because of the explosion, a mushroom cloud rose of 40,000 feet high. At that moment, he did not think of any other scripture, any other thing, but he remembered the line from our Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, slok 32, where Lord Krishna says, Kalo Ashmi, Loko Shaya, Krita Prabiddho, where Lord Krishna tells Arjun that I am death, I am the destroyer of the worlds. So basically you see that you and I may not take interest in the Bhagavad Gita sitting in India where it originated. We are so busy with our daily lives, and there is this person in America, one of the most famous scientists, who is learning Sanskrit to understand the nectar of the Bhagavad Gita, and in the Trinity test, which was the most successful part of his life, he thinks about the Bhagavad Gita. And people say that, can you describe God? Okay, if there is God, Bhagwan hai, kaise dikhte hain? So that is also described in the Bhagavad Gita, that when in that nuclear explosion, that blazing light covered most of the sky, Dr. Oppenheimer also referred to, and you can understand, chapter 11, slok 12, Divvi Surya Sahasrasya. Basically what it means is that, one sun, when it rises in the sky, there is so much of light. खाली एक सूर्य से हम लोग एक सूर्य की तरफ नहीं देख सकते हैं. Imagine instead of one sun, if 1,000 suns were to rise in the sky. एक सूर्य की जगह 1,000 सूर्य अगर आज आकाश में उठ जाते तो कैसा प्रकाश होता, कैसा ज्योति होता. So Lord Krishna is telling that would be the splendor. Arjuna is telling that would be the splendor of that mighty one with 1,000 suns in the sky. So God has been discussed and described as that energy, that infinite energy, and that 1,000 suns is also a fraction of his splendor. Oppenheimer was known to gift his English translation to his friends and others. He learned Sanskrit in 1933 and read the Gita in the original language. So my only thought is to you is that whether we also like to respect the Western thoughts, but I want to leave this thought with you that the Indian ethos are very rich, heritage we have is very great. So let us feel proud about our own culture, our own heritage. Let us say we are very good with confidence. What did Bapu, the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, say on the Bhagavad Gita? As we know that before, when he was in his days, India was not really free in these earlier younger days. So he was leading the freedom movement, and the fight was against the very mighty British. There were a lot of challenges. And in his personal life also, as we know, Gandhiji suffered many kind of adverse incidents. So what did Gandhi say on the Bhagavad-Gita? That when doubts haunt me, when disappointments stare me in the face, and I see not a single ray of hope on the horizon, जब मैं बहुत दुखी हो जाता हूँ और मुझे एक भी रोशनी का किरण नहीं दिखता है, तो I turn to भगवद गीता and I find a verse to comfort me. तो मैं भगवद गीता के पास चले जाता हूँ और एक श्लोक मुझे मिल जाता है जिससे मुझे फिर से शांति मिल जाती है. I turn to Bhagavad Gita and find a verse to comfort me, and I immediately begin to smile in the midst of overwhelming sorrow. इतने दुख के अंदर मेरे मन में फिर से शांति आती है और मेरे चेहरे में स्माइल आ जाता है. And if they have left no indelible scar on me, I owe it all to the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. If they did not leave a permanent scar, indelible scar on me, I owe it all to the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. So if such great leaders are so much influenced, we look up to an Oppenheimer, we look up to Mahatma Gandhi, and they are looking up to the Bhagavad Gita. Now this is something, this is not from ChatGPT, this slide, it is not from any Google, not from any ChatGPT. As I told you, I have started reading the Bhagavad Gita from my school days. So I have tried to put the best 40 years, we call it, make a summary of something, essence of something. And I have written the quintessence, which is the essence of the essence. So I have put it in just 5 points, and the name that you see, Radhe Krishna Das, that is my, my letter name. So this is completely out of my sincere efforts, and I am presenting it to you. And this is not something that will be applicable after retirement. This is applicable to you in your student life. It will be applicable when you go to join any office or when you start a business. Number 1, do your allotted work sincerely. आपको जो भी काम दिया जाए वो बहुत ही sincerely करिए. Number 2, renounce the fruits of work. आपका अधिकार सिर्फ आपके काम के ऊपर है. उसके बाद आपको प्रमोशन मिलेगा कि नहीं, आप क्लास में फर्स्ट होगे कि नहीं, आप वो गेम जीतोगे कि नहीं, that is not going to be in your hands. So you renounce the fruits of the work. आप खाली आपका काम अच्छे से करिए. Third, love everyone. If you do a survey, if you do a market survey, and for 1,000 people, not 5 or 10, do it for 1,000 people. I'm giving you that exercise, do it for 1,000 people, small exercise. And you ask that person, whom do you love genuinely, sincerely? So he is likely to tell you about 5 people: parents, mummy, daddy, his spouse, that is wife or husband, and his 2 children. So 5 people that is the thing for most people, is that you only love 5 people. But the Bhagavad Gita is telling, love everyone. Who is everyone? It is most important places, your office colleagues, your office subordinate. That is where the love is needed the most. And I'll tell you one more secret, which you know, but I'll tell you the secret. When you hate, you become tired. When you become jealous, you become tired. When you eat too much, you become tired. When you sleep too much, you become tired. But when you love too much, you never get tired. You love 5 people, you're not tired. You love 5 in your family and love 5 more students, you're not tired. You have got 100 students in the class, you love every one of them, you're not tired. You love 100 students plus the 25 colleagues you have in the office, you're not tired. So loving everyone in a very genuine way, that is a very important thing. Next, very profound, but I am putting in a very simple elementary language. Treat respect and disrespect, criticism and praise as same. सम्मान और असम्मान, आपको कोई रेस्पेक्ट करता है तो आप एकदम ऊपर चले जाते हो, और कोई आपको डिसरेस्पेक्ट करता है एकदम नीचे चले जाते हो. ऐसा नहीं, आप इसे इक्वली ट्रीट करिए. हमारे बचपन से वी हैव बीन टोल्ड दैट बिकम समथिंग सो दैट पीपल विल रेस्पेक्ट यू. नाउ व्हेन यू ऑलवेज क्रेव फॉर रेस्पेक्ट, it creates a lot of stress in your whole system, and you always feel that what will happen if someone disrespects me. As a teacher, suppose I am feeling that there are 100 students in my class, what happens if 5 students disrespect me? But I have no control on those 5 students actually. What he thinks about me, I have no control at all, zero control I have. Now, as a teacher, just think the other thing, if I do from the Bhagavadgita, that I go, I prepare my classes very well. For 1 hour of class, I put 10 hours of hard work. I have covered all angles as much as humanly possible. And then I go to the class, and by loving everyone, I deliver the class. क्या वो अच्छा नहीं होगा? Will it not be good? But even then, it is possible that in your class there is an intelligent student who might ask a very nice question and you may not have an answer for that. It is all right. You are human. You need not know everything of everything. So you just tell the student that, beta, this one I think I am not able to answer right now. I will actually go back and study, and tomorrow you come to me, or I will meet and we will discuss. But if I am not afraid of disrespect, then I will become a much better human being. If as a boss, I have got 25 subordinates, it is possible that I am doing my work with all sincerity, but 2 or 3 are not respecting me. It is all right. You just focus on one thing which is in your hand, that is your karam, that's your work. Similarly, criticism and praise, this creates lot of anxiety. And again, you do a survey, friends. Out of 1,999 people are afraid of criticism. But how is it possible that you will never be criticized? You are not Mr. Perfect, that you will be 100 on 100 on everything. So your boss will sometimes tell you कि आपने जो काम किया उसमें और सुधार लाना है, तो लाना है. That is correct. आपको, you have to improve your work. So instead of always expecting praise, so when you have praise, आप इतने ऊपर उठ गए, आप criticize किया, आप इतने नीचे गिर गए. So instead of that swinging, you have the santulan, you have equanimity. So friends, is it not making a lot of sense to you, these simple things? When you do that, you will not get into any depression. You will not have any mental anxiety. You will always be in a state of happiness. And even if sometimes you are brought down, you again go back and read the Bhagavad-gita. You will find a slok here and a slok there, and you will be able to overcome that particular problem. And now coming to Bhakti Yoga, this was more about the Karma Yoga. Now the Bhakti Yoga is love, devotion, faith and surrender to the Supreme. Complete Atma Samarpan. अगर आप थोड़ा सा भी सोचे गहरा, you may become a very famous scientist, you may become a very famous doctor or a lawyer or the head of a government. But as we know, all of us know today, that there is a galaxy and there is a Milky Way and it is expanding. It is so big. Ultimately, we are all like the small bacteria in this Mother Earth. The Earth itself is like a small ball. So don't have any big ego. And like Arjun, he won the Mahabharata war, but when Lord Krishna was not there, he lost again an attack of some robbers. So therefore, the Bhagavad Gita implores us to have complete devotion, complete faith and surrender to the Supreme. The only thing is this, is you do your work with total bhakti. So what is the Bhagavad Gita and the Indian scriptures telling us? That the decision making should be guided by wisdom from the ancient text, and the Bhagavad Gita teaches us to remain calm and make fair ethical decisions. We have to remain we are going to have difficult situations in our life, but to remain calm and composed, because when the mind is still, you will be able to think clearly and make fair decisions, make ethical decisions. As I was telling you about the yogas, the Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, these are the three mains which are there. We will come to Raja Yoga also. So, at any moment of time, we are doing some work. If you drink water, that's also work. If you're watching this thing attentively, that's also work. If I am delivering some session, it is work. I'll get up, I'll walk, I'll go to some place, that is also work. So, for throughout all of us are working. So, then what is the speciality? It is talking about selfless action, doing one's duty without attachment to the results. The problem is not with the work, but about the results. फल. So हम लोग को फल की आशा त्याग करना है, and we have to, above us is the family, above that is the society, above the society is the nation. So when you have something called a higher purpose to life, then your karma becomes dharma. Your karma kshetra becomes your dharma kshetra. So you come to office every day and you think that here I am in the office, but I am here to contribute something which will be fruitful to the society. It is my very favorite, the Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, love and surrender to a personal deity. You know, it is sometimes very difficult for average persons to close their eyes and think of an infinite source of energy. So therefore, if you think of a murti or a deity, it is easier for us to focus on the lotus feet. The lotus feet represents that infinite energy, that 1,000 suns which have risen in the sky. But for our personal connection, sometimes it may be nice for us to do jap of one personal deity so that your mind remains calm, and it's only for our connection with the Supreme, it may be good to have a personal deity. The most difficult, but of course it is attractive to many people, it is the Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge, which is the understanding of the ultimate reality, Jnana. But हम लोग बोलते हैं, there is a prayer in Ramakrishna Mission that ज्ञान के प्रदीप को इतना मत जला देना कि because of that प्रदीप के लाइट से आप जो सुप्रीम वही छुप जाएं. So हम लोग प्रे करते हैं कि ज्ञान मिले आपको, but it should not be so much कि अहंकार हो गया कि I know so much and these foolish people don't know anything. It might lead to a lot of ahankar, which happened to, as in the story, there was a person called Uddhav who was having a lot of knowledge, so he became very, very arrogant. So he then came to Srimati Radharani and to all the other gopis who were there, and then he said that, मैं आप लोग को मुक्ति दिलाने आया हूँ, तुम लोग दिन रात क्या रोते रहते हो श्री कृष्ण कृष्ण करके, always crying for Sri Krishna, ये आप लोग का मोह है. So I am going to give you a jnana by which you will understand that it is not correct. And Sri Radharani tells कि हम तो एक ही चीज जानते हैं, which is संयोग, जो योग में श्री कृष्ण राधा बन जाए और जहाँ श्री राधा कृष्ण बन जाए. So that is the union of the Atma with the Paramatma. That is what it is. And when he sees, so then he asks Sri Radharani, where is Sri Krishna? He is not there. You are alone crying. So he says, Sri Krishna is here sitting next to me. Where is he? He is here. And actually Uddhav feels, when he touches, he feels that Sri Krishna is there. And then he realizes that the gopis are actually able to see Lord Krishna everywhere. So this is the ultimate of bhakti, the sanjog. So this is, I think, above, when you realize that God is right in this room also where you are recording. God is between you and me also. God is behind you also and behind me also. God is all pervasive. So falling in love with that benevolent king of the universe is what we need. So Gita is also sometimes referred to as the Gita Upanishad. Though we are putting it like this, but the Gita does not actually separate this yoga path rigidly. It tries to blend the karma yoga, the path of action, the bhakti yoga, the path of devotion, the jnana yoga, the path of knowledge, and Raj yoga, which is the path of meditation and inner mastery. This makes the Gita holistic, so it shows us how to balance your action, emotion, intellect, and also stillness. Like in the Western concept, when they have a problem, they say, let us do brainstorming. The Indian ethos is about brain stilling. Shant ho jao. There is a problem, shant ho jao. So we do brain stilling, and we believe that from that and through meditation, because it puts you in touch with the entire universe, so you will be able to realize the truth more than looking always outside. I will start with the Raj Yoga, which is about chapter 6, the Dhyan Yoga, the yoga of meditation. This chapter in the Bhagavadgita is the core of the Raja Yoga, where Krishna teaches Arjuna how to sit in a steady posture, focus the mind inward, meditate without attachment or fear, and see the self in all beings. So, for a normal person, I am different, the cameraman is different, the person who is serving tea is different, everyone is different. But when you are able to rise a bit higher, then you find that there is that self in all the beings. So what is yoga? Today you are able to identify only with your wife, your 2 children, and maybe parents. Yoga is yog, union. It is when you are able to feel that you are actually in complete harmony with the people around you, with the plants, the trees, everyone. You are in perfectly harmony. That is the time, which is yoga. And I'm just saying that it is not a question that, some people just having in a party, they are going and they are just telling in the party, drinking that Aham Brahmasmi. So that's a big philosophical thought. They are telling that without really realizing it. But it is true that the God resides within us, and the realization has to come through meditation basically. To continue, what does the Lord Krishna says? Sri Bhagavan says that among all the yogis, the one who meditates on me with a devoted heart is the highest of all. Not only you will meditate, but you will meditate with complete devotion. What should the yogi, the person doing meditation, try to do? He should try to constantly concentrate his mind, restraining the wandering mind and bring it under the control of the self. You know what Swamiji said about our mind? You have seen a monkey? It is never standing still, always jumping. So if you intoxicate the monkey, give it some kind of intoxicating drink and the monkey drinks it. So what will happen to the monkey? Khali idhar udhar daudte rahega, jump karega. Our mind is also like this. Sometimes this thought, sometimes that thought, sometimes this, sometimes that. Never at all in a state of any kind of focus. It is completely out of control, basically. And that is true for 90% plus of the people. The mind is completely out of control for all of us. And as you remember, we had discussed in one of the earlier things that the allegory of that chariot where there are 5 horses which are representing the 5 senses, your smelling, tasting, touching, etc. And the roads are the pleasures of our life. And the horses, if you leave it, the horses will keep running aimlessly in various directions. So it has to be reined in. The horses have to be reined in, shown the right direction through the charioteer, who is our higher buddhi or intellect. The buddhi or intellect has to control the mind. The buddhi has to tell ki kya galat hai aur kya sahi hai. And based on that, the desires have to be controlled completely so that you are absolutely in the right path. मन फिर से कल खराब जगह में जाएगा, उसको फिर से वापस लाना है आपको खींच के जाएगा, because नीचे जाना सबसे इजी होता है. So it's always easy to go down. So आपको उसको खींच के उसको फिर से सही दिशा दिखाना है. So it is not just about mental discipline. It blends meditation with devotion. If you have both devotion with meditation, I think that is where you'll be in a very, very good situation. So we focus on the 8 steps of the Raj Yoga. This Raj Yoga became very popular, particularly after Swami Vivekananda ji gave his interpretation of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali in his book, the Raj Yoga. Now, there are basically a few steps of this. Everyone today you'll find it is very fashionable to say that I am doing yoga at home, but yoga is a very big thing, and in Raj Yoga the steps are: number 1 is yama, that is self-control, that is swadhinata. What is swadhin? स्व प्लस अधीन, मतलब आप किसके अधीन हो? आप आपके ही अधीन हो. हम लोग बोलते थे हम लोग पराधीन थे. पराधीन मतलब we are under control of someone else. We are under control of British. British have gone, so we don't have to be. Now we have become independent as a country. But have you become independent? क्या आप आपके अधीन में हो? आपको लगता है मैं 10 मिनट रील देखूंगा, बट एक्चुअली आपने देखा कितना? 1 घंटा. उसके ऊपर आपको उठना कितने में था? यू डिसाइडेड कि यू विल गेट अप एट 5 o'clock इन द मॉर्निंग. अलार्म बजा, बट आप उठे कितने बजे? 6:30 बजे. यू एवरी डे यू आर रिजॉल्विंग टुमारो आई विल गो फॉर अ वॉक, आई विल डू एक्सरसाइज. किया? नहीं किया. बिकॉज यू आर नॉट, योर सेल्फ इज नॉट लिसनिंग, इज नॉट कंट्रोल्ड बाई यू. सो वॉट यू हैव टू डू इज, yama means self under the control of the self, not under control of any teacher or principal or boss. Then niyama, हम लोग बोलते हैं ना क्या नियम पालन करते हो? So niyam is basically discipline. कि today I'll get up at say okay, not 5, 6 o'clock. I'll do this much exercise. I'll go to office 15 minutes before time. I'll finish my work. I'll come back again, do maybe 10 minutes exercise. So some niyam I am going to have only this much food. So all this is niyam. क्या आप follow करते हो नियम को? नहीं करते हो. So after this session, make your own niyam, and only no one else will tell you. You make your own niyam and you follow it. Yoga is not only about asana, that is some physical exercises we do. You are doing some physical exercises to become strong. That is okay, that is your asana. And then you have got pranayam, which are the various breathing exercises we do, because we know the breath is the main thing. So if you are breathing properly, then you will be a healthy person. It has been found that knowing your breathing rate, we can find out whether you are under stress or not, because your breathing pattern will change completely when you are under stress. And when you are under regular stress, then your breathing pattern will change and it will damage your health. So by watching your breathing pattern, it is very good. In the Indian ethos, unlike the West, what did I say? In the West, the body has a soul. So life is all about satisfaction of the body. If I want to eat something, I will eat. If I want to drink something, I will go on drinking. Whenever I feel like, I will do that. But what we are saying in India is pratyahara, withdrawing of the senses. We are like a tortoise, like the tortoise draws itself inside. You have to draw yourself within you. Many of us, every year we need, especially the affluent people, they have to make 3 foreign visits because their mind is very chanchal. Nothing wrong if you are doing it as a rule, but make a plan and then follow it. And this is happening because why it is, there are 2 kinds of people. One are the bahirmukhi and one is the antarmukhi. The bahirmukhi are those who will always want to go outside and get the pleasure. The mind is not at rest. Whereas antarmukhi, when you withdraw the senses, you can be sitting at your kutia, at your home, and still feel as happy as if you had gone to an island in a beach. That is what the Indian ethos is. Then we have got dharana, which is total concentration of the mind, that you are totally focused on one particular thing. Most of us, right now you try to do it after this session. You concentrate on one thing for 3 minutes, 3 minutes only, will not possible for you, for most of you. And then is dhyana. What is dhyan? Dhyan means dhi plus naha. It's a sandhi of 2 words, dhi plus naha. What is dhi? Mane buddhi. और ना में नहीं, माने हमें when we are doing meditation, हमें बुद्धि नहीं लगाना है. हम लोग का मन एकदम blank रखना है. Our mind, which is like a monkey, from this problem to that problem to that problem, this planning to this planning to this planning. When you are doing dhyan, please do it after session only for 5 minutes. You just try to sit straight, erect, and try to think of nothing. You will find that you are not able to do it. And ultimately we say for the great people कि उनका समाधि ले लिए. वो ultimate है when he is able to have completely a union yoga of with the super Paramatma. We of course do not have time, so we will only look at few sloks. I start with chapter 2, slok 3, which is a very favorite of Swami Vivekananda. When he was there, India was not free. So I am only telling you, the beauty of the Bhagavadgita is even the part of a slok is very meaningful. So chapter 2, slok 3, it says, Hriday Dorbalyam Tyaktva Uttishta Parantap. Parantap is Arjun. So Sri Bhagavan is telling Arjun that Hriday means heart, Dorbalyam means Durbalta, Tyaktva means chhodna, Uttishta utna. Hey Arjun, तुम ये हृदय की दुर्बलता को त्याग करके उठ खड़े हो जाओ. Basically, when Arjun did not want to fight, and most of us, so this was a very big slok that Swami Vivekananda said to inspire the Indians. The Indians started believing after the British came in after a few years that नहीं होगा मुझसे, मैं बहुत दुर्बल हूँ. So Swami Vivekananda said the most important thing is strength. So हृदय की दुर्बलता, अगर आप सोचोगे ना आप कमजोर हो तो आप सचमुच कमजोर हो जाओगे. आप सोचोगे कि आप स्ट्रांग हो तो आप स्ट्रांग हो जाओगे. तो इट इज ऑल व्हाट द माइंड इज थिंकिंग. तो स्वामी विवेकानंद बोलते आप सोचिए कि आप दुर्बल नहीं हो, आप स्ट्रांग हो. हे परंतप कैसे स्ट्रांग हो, परम तपस्वी के जगह आप स्ट्रांग हो, और फिर आप दुर्बलता को त्याग करके उठ खड़े होइए. Chapter 2, Slok 38, part of it again, only part of it. Sukham dukkham same kritva, labh alabho, jay ajayu. Sukh, dukh, same kritva. Same means same. Kritva means करके. तो क्या करना है आपको? सुख और दुख को समान सोचना है. जैसे रात के बाद दिन आएगा, दिन के बाद रात आएगा, रात के बाद फिर से दिन आएगा. अगर आप रात में सोचे कि कल सवेरे नहीं होगा तो कितना खराब है. तो एक साइकिल है ना. सो इट इज जस्ट लाइक ए साइकिल. और इसको हम लोग को समान सोचना है. ये नहीं कि सुख बहुत आनंद मिल रहा है, दुख एकदम हम लोग टूट गए. हम लोग को वी हैव टू कीप इक्वानिमिटी, संतुलन रखना है हम लोग को. लाभो अलाभो, जय अजय. कभी आपको लाभ होगा, अगर यू मे बी स्टूडेंट्स, बट आजकल काफ़ी हम लोग इंडियंस लोग स्टॉक मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. वी कॉल इट द फाइनेंशियलाइजेशन ऑफ सेविंग्स, So when you invest in mutual fund, you find it has gone up and something has happened and the market has again gone down. हमें क्या करना है? हम लोग को उसको सेम सोचना है. सबसे बढ़िया बात क्या है? Because I am also a finance professional, one of the secrets of winning in the capital market is, apart from your analytical power, is patience, धैर्य. अगर आप धैर्य रखोगे और आप लॉन्ग टर्म में रहोगे मार्केट में तो यू विल ऑलवेज बी एबल टू विन. बट अगर आप छोटे छोटे नुकसान से अगर घबरा जाओगे, क्योंकि रोज तो आप जीतोगे नहीं, तो छोटे छोटे नुकसान से आप घबरा जाओगे. सो यू सी दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग हैज ऑल ऑफ यू वांट टू बिकम रिच, ऑल ऑफ यू वांट टू बिकम वेल्दी. आई ऑल्सो वांट टू बिकम रिच एंड वेल्दी एंड प्रॉस्परस. सो आई एम लिंकिंग अप अ भगवद गीता श्लोक which you thought has no meaning to you because you are only working to become successful, but this has got so much meaning for us in our daily lives. Now some of you may tell me, if this was an interactive session, that sir अभी तो काम का बहुत प्रेशर है सर, वह रिटायर कर जाएंगे सर, उसके बाद एकदम रोज पढ़ेंगे सर. This book, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता, is not about a book of retirement. It is about a book about karma kshetra, dharma kshetra. So basically इसको क्या करना है हम लोग को, आज के सेशन जैसे ख़त्म हो जाएगा, आज से ही पढ़ना चालू करना है. रिटायरमेंट के लिए वेट नहीं करना है. और आप बोलेंगे सर मुझे टाइम ही नहीं है. खाने का टाइम मिलता है ना, नहाने का टाइम मिलता है ना, तो जैसे वो मिलता है खाना, तो दिस इज योर स्पिरिचुअल नरिशमेंट. इसके लिए दिन में कुछ नहीं, एटलीस्ट 10 मिनट निकाल लीजिए. इज माई अपील टू यू. बिकॉज अगर आप 10 मिनट निकाल लेंगे, जैसे एक्सरसाइज करने से आपका शरीर ठीक होता है, भगवद गीता पढ़ने से आपका मन का एक्सरसाइज होगा. ये बहुत ही फेमस श्लोक है, चैप्टर 2 श्लोक 47. सबने ये सुना है. और आप देखेंगे कि कभी कभी जब हम लोग के ग्रैंडफादर का स्वर्गवास हो गया या किसी के अंकल का स्वर्गवास हो गया, तो पेपर में लोग एडवर्टाइज कर देते हैं और उसके नीचे गीता का श्लोक लिख देते हैं. और दुख का बात यह है कि दैट पर्सन इन हिज होल लाइफ may not have even opened the Bhagavad Gita or read one slok, but and you know, on the day of the Shraddha, we are donating the Bhagavad Gita, small. We don't give good Gita, you know, जो सबसे सस्ता जो गीता मिलता है वही देते हैं. So, if you are not able to give good things, how do you expect the universe to give good things to you? That is not possible. No? So, this is a very famous slok. Karmanyeva adhikaraste मा फलेषु कदाचन. हे अर्जुन इज यू. तुम्हारा अधिकार किसके ऊपर है? सिर्फ कर्म के ऊपर तुम्हारा अधिकार है, फल के ऊपर कभी नहीं. लेकिन व्हाट हैपेंस इज पीपल लाइक यू मे आस्क कि सर अगर कोई फल का ही हम लोग क्या कोई नहीं सोचेंगे तो काम में मन ही नहीं लगेगा सर, काम क्यों करें? तो बेसिकली जो है, आई एम गिविंग एन एग्जाम्पल बिकॉज मेनी ऑफ यू मे डिसाइड कि आप यूपीएससी एग्जाम दोगे. हम भी चाहते हैं कि आप दीजिए, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट सर्विस करने से क्या होता है, आप यू कैन सर्व अ लॉट ऑफ पब्लिक, सो इट्स अ वेरी गुड आइडिया. बट इट्स ऑल राइट, यू वांट टू बिकम साइंटिस्ट, बिकम अ गुड साइंटिस्ट. हम तो चाहते हैं कि आप लोग बहुत सारे अच्छे टीचर बन जाओ, बिकॉज टीचर बनने से आप स्टूडेंट्स लोग को अच्छे से इंस्पायर कर सकते हैं. लेकिन आप यूपीएससी एग्जाम दिए, बहुत मेहनत किए, यू माइट स्टिल बी अनसक्सेसफुल. वो फल के ऊपर आपका कोई अधिकार ही नहीं है. और अगर नहीं मिला आपको यूपीएससी, नेक्स्ट ईयर फिर से पढ़िए. अगर नहीं होता है फिर से पढ़िए. और अगर नहीं होता है तो सोचिएगा कि फॉर द डिवाइन, द बेनेवोलेंट डिवाइन हैज थॉट समथिंग गुड फॉर यू. अगर नहीं होता है तो हरवंश राय बच्चन बोलते थे इसका मतलब और भी कुछ अच्छा होगा, राइट? So we have to think in a very positive way. But one thing you don't do कि मुझसे होगा ही नहीं. आप एग्जाम पढ़ना भी नहीं शुरू किए और आपने क्या बोला कि नहीं मैं तो अच्छा स्टूडेंट नहीं हूं, मुझसे होगा ही नहीं. This is wrong. Don't think that you are weak. When you are talking of strength, it is not only your physical strength, it is also your mental strength, your resilience. So before, don't give up, before put your full effort into it. Chapter 2, Slok 55. Chapter 2, by the way, out of all the 18 chapters, is considered a very significant chapter by many scholars in the Bhagavad Gita. So, Atmani eva Atmana tushta स्थित प्रज्ञ तदा उच्यते. इसका मीनिंग क्या हुआ? व्हेन द माइंड सैटिस्फैक्शंस इन द सेल्फ अलोन, जब आपको अंदर से ही आपको आनंद मिल रहा है. एक आनंद क्या है कि यार रोज ऑफिस जाते हैं, रोज कॉलेज जाते हैं, बोर हो गए, चलो घूमने चलते हैं. एब्सोल्युटली ऑल राइट, नथिंग रॉन्ग. बट द सुपर पर्सन is able to get joy within himself. Because if you are not happy with yourself, आप हिल स्टेशन जाके भी शायद आपको आनंद नहीं मिलेगा. You come back after some time, again you're bored. So your best friend, you know who's your best friend? You are your best friend. Try to feel happy in your own company. So the Bhagavad Gita is telling us to be looking inside and to get the satisfaction within us. And काम करने के बाद what does Sri Bhagavan tell us? That मई सर्वाणी कर्माणी, मेरे ऊपर सब काम को छोड़ दो, खाली मेरे बारे में सोचो. आपकी सब तमन्नाएं, आपकी सब सेल्फिशनेस को त्याग करो. एंड विगत ज्वर, लास्ट में बोले हैं विगत ज्वर. ज्वर मतलब फिवरिश. हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि इज वर्किंग फिवरिशली, इतना पागल की तरह काम कर रहा है. नहीं, कोई जरूरत नहीं है. डोंट हैव टू वर्क फिवरिशली. एंड नाइदर यू थिंक, जैसे ये मेरा कंपनी है, आई एम द ओनर ऑफ द कंपनी. डोंट थिंक दैट यू आर द प्रोप्राइटर और द ओनर. जस्ट बी वेरी हम्बल, हैव कॉन्फिडेंस, यू हैव योर स्ट्रेंथ, बट काम करते हुए भी नाम जपते रहो. So basically हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि we are very small. When you connect ourselves to that Rabb, when you are able to connect ourselves to that Supreme, your results will be better. You'll be happier as a person. Chapter 3, Slok 35. I'm just giving you some parts, maybe part of it. Swadharme nidhanam shreya, paradharma bhayabaha. Swadharm means अपना धर्म. आपका जो धर्म है उसमें मर जाना भी श्रेष्ठ है, लेकिन दूसरे का धर्म भयावह है. वी आर नॉट सेइंग कि भैया everyone should accept my way. We are not telling that. We are saying you are very good. I am only saying that I am very good too. I respect my own dharma. Some people may be very good in convincing other people, whereas I may be very good in my Excel and in my own world. उसका वो धर्म है कि बाहर जाके he can do good marketing. That is his dharma. My dharma can be that I am very good at making Excel sheets, linking up various Excel sheets. I can do very good programming. So whatever I am good at, let me do that. But do not think that because though I am good at marketing, but because I'll get more money in doing programming, so I'll do programming. Don't do that. Find out, spend days, months to find out what are you really good at. And then according to your nature, according to your dharma, you follow that. Chapter 4, Slok 10. Vita raga bhaya krodha mana maya mama upasritah. So meaning है राग, भय और क्रोध, तीन चीज से हम लोग को दूर रहना है. क्रोध मतलब क्या हुआ? एंगर. क्रोध एंगर. भय क्या हुआ? फियर, डर. और राग मतलब अटैचमेंट. सो मैंने उसको अंडरलाइन कर दिया है बिकॉज वी हैव टू बी फ्री फ्रॉम all the three things. You know what happens? That anger is such a thing that sometimes, suppose, someone is not doing the thing as per my wish. And to me, I have an ego, so I am the super thing. So I am angry with him. Him is there and I am angry with him. But after sometimes you cannot control yourself. I have become anger. Now there is no I in me. मैं क्या बन गया? मैं एक ज्वालामुखी बन गया क्रोध का. होता है ना, कभी कभी बॉस लोग इतना गुस्सा हो जाते हैं, प्रिंसिपल इतना गुस्सा हो जाते हैं, टीचर इतना गुस्सा हो जाते हैं कि वो टीचर नहीं रहा, वो एकदम एक ज्वालामुखी बन गया. वैसा मत बनिए. वो क्यों हो रहा है? बिकॉज वो अपने आप को ही कंट्रोल नहीं कर सक रहा है. सेल्फ स्वाधीन, वो अपने को कंट्रोल उसने लूज कर गया. Very important. Second क्या? Attachment. Most of us are too much attached to our family. In particular, I've seen our spouse and children, and we are able to do many times. We are doing many crimes, financial crimes in particular, and the justification is that I am doing it for my own family. मैं तो गांव के स्कूल में गया था, लेकिन मेरा बच्चा अमेरिका के पढ़ेगा. आप तो इतने अच्छे इंसान बन गए हैं, तो when you need to send your son to a very costly school, then you require a lot of money. And when you need a lot of money, then I am finding one brother is depriving his other brothers because you need a lot of money. And you justify it because you say कि no, मुझे family के लिए करना है. So don't become too much attached to anything. ये attachment is like a honey trap. मक्खी जो है वो मधु खाने आता है और वो मधु के अंदर ही मर जाता है, ट्रैप हो जाता है. सो डू नॉट गेट अटैच्ड टू एनीथिंग. और जो डर है भैया, ये डर बहुत ही खराब चीज़ है. फियर, एनी काइंड ऑफ रॉन्ग फियर will only lead you to crime and into your downfall. So, bhai, wrong kind of fear is not. So, what is the way out? When you take refuge in the Lord, nothing will be harmed. And the Bhagwan says that many persons in the past have become purified by my knowledge of me, and they attained my divine love. So again we are going back. You know, the beauty of Bhagavadgita is because it is not esoteric. It is not for special people. आप जब स्कूल में ऐसे लिखते थे ना, तो टीचर बोलते थे कि बार बार एक ही चीज़ मत लिखिएगा, एक चीज़ को दोबारा मत लिखिएगा. बट भगवद गीता में same thing has been said multiple times, the good things, so that if you miss it once, you can again pick it up the second time. So basically here again Sri Bhagwan is talking of surrendering. भय का क्या कारण है? मैं तुम्हारे साथ हूं ना, किस चीज का भय है? सो आज से हम लोग भय, क्रोध और राग, अटैचमेंट को त्याग करेंगे. चैप्टर 4 श्लोक 20, त्यक्त्वा कर्म फल संगम नित्य तृप्त निराश्रय. त्यक्त्वा मीन्स छोड़ देना, टू लीव इट. क्या छोड़ोगे? कर्म का फल, कर्म फल. देखो कितना इजी. मैंने आई हैव ब्रोकन इट अप इनटू वेरी सिंपल वर्ड्स इंस्टेड ऑफ मेकिंग इट अ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड संस्कृत श्लोक. मैंने आई हैव रिटन द वर्ड सेपरेटली. सो कर्म फल, इसको आपको छोड़ना है. और क्या करना है? नित्य तृप्त. हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, मैं तृप्त हूं, आई एम सेटिस्फाइड विद इन माई सेल्फ. तो आपको एकदम तृप्त होना है. So such people, having given up attachments to the fruit of their actions, are always satisfied and not dependent on any external things. Despite engaging in activities, they do nothing at all. So क्या हो गया? आप जैसे आपने फल की आशा को छोड़ दिया, आप एकदम संतुष्ट हो गए, आपको आनंद आने लग गया, और आप दूसरे के साथ कंपेयर करना ही बंद कर दिए. तो जो हम लोग चाहते हैं कि आपको आनंद मिले सब समय, आप सबसे उस स्टेट ऑफ आनंद में रहेंगे. तो आप सब कुछ कर रहे हैं, खा रहे हैं, ऑफिस जा रहे हैं, सो रहे हैं, साइकिल चला रहे हैं, मोटरसाइकिल चला रहे हैं, लेकिन मन आपको लग रहा है मैं तो कुछ करता ही नहीं हूँ, बिकॉज सभी वही सुप्रीम मुझको तो करा रहा है. सो एज वी कम, like there are many sloks is there, but एक जो मेरा सबसे प्यारा श्लोक है, मैं जस्ट वही बोल रहा हूँ. अनन्य चिंतायन्तो माम यह जनाः पर्युपासते तेषाम नित्य अभियुक्तानाम योगक्षेमम वहामि अहम. तो मैंने इसमें से एक वर्ड अंडरलाइन किया है, वहामि अहम. व्हाट श्री भगवान इज टेलिंग अस कि अगर आप मेरे को पूरे शिद्दत से, पहला वर्ड क्या? न अन्य, माने दूसरे के, मेरे लिए अगर तुम पूरा भक्ति से काम करोगे तो मैं क्या करूँगा? मैं आपको जो भी ज़रूरत है मैं आपके लिए वहन करूँगा. मैं आपको घर में जाके आपको दे दूँगा, आपको कहीं जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. बट आपको क्या करना है? कर्म करना है, फल की आशा छोड़ना, और मेरे ऊपर पूरा समर्पण कर दो. अगर आप मेरे को समर्पण करोगे तो मुझे आपको जो चाहिए वो मैं आपको बहन करके आपको दे दूंगा. तो ये मेरा बहुत ही फेवरेट श्लोक है मेरे लिए. तो देखिए, 1 घंटा टाइम में तो आप 700 श्लोक नहीं पढ़ सकते हैं. आई ओनली कुड टेल यू अ फ्यू श्लोक्स, बट आई होप दैट आई हैव बीन एबल टू जनरेट अ लॉट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इन यू. एंड नाउडेज लकीली भगवद गीता इज अवेलेबल इन बुक स्टोर. So please pick up one, and like I have tried to give my best to you. I have to try to develop an interest for you. So friends, students, please take out 10 minutes time only to follow every day, mentally nourish yourself. So with that prayers today, for your success, for your happiness, right? So, Jai Bharat, Jai India, Jai Hind. Thank you so much.